Speculation time?
Speculation time! Super fun speculation time!
Top 15 characters for Suicide Squad sequel. Go!
Number 15. James Gordon Jr.
James Gordon Jr. is the son of Commissioner Gordon and brother to Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, aka Oracle. He's crazy like the Joker and at one point was an inmate at Arkham Asylum. While not the most popular or developed character out there, with Commissioner Gordon's appearance confirmed for Justice League in 2017 and his infatuation for Amanda Waller, this makes him easily recruitable for Suicide Squad, at the very least a possible cameo. Number 14. Duella Dent, aka Joker's daughter. The first thing you need to know is that she's not actually Joker's daughter. She's known for passing as other people's daughter, such as Catwoman, the Riddler, the Penguin, and Scarecrow, to name a few. However, despite the discrepancies, the most accepted theory is that she's Harvey Dent's daughter, aka ToFace. She's a young, psychotic woman who has the obsession that ugly things are beautiful, which led her to mutilate her own face. And while she lacks any conventional powers, similar to the Joker and Harley Quinn, she plays with the minds of her opponents as well as an expert in hand-to-hand combat. She shows up for a brief period in Suicide Squad and does not get along with Harley Quinn. Plus, reading their interactions is one of the best parts of those issues. My only concern if she were to appear on the big screen is that she be perceived as a Harley Quinn or as a Joker knockoff. Number 13. Plastique. One of those more obscure heroes that you may have seen yet not realized it was Plastique. While she makes small appearances in Justice League animated series, Smallville, and most recently on The Flash, in the comics, she's a freedom fighter, making her both a villain and a hero. With the power to make explosions and the knowledge to use them, her sheer destructive force would make a great addition to both Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey being the Harley Quinn spin-off, which will feature only female heroes and villains. It's also worth mentioning the consistent unrequited advances from Captain Boomerang towards Plastique are pretty hilarious. So while she may not be a complete shoo-in for the DC Cinematic Universe, Plastique is still a good candidate. Number 12. King Shark. King Shark is a beast-type creature, half human, half shark. While origin stories will vary, he could show up in the 2018 Aquaman movie and later spin off into the Suicide Squad sequel. Plus, he has a fairly good fanbase already due to him showing up in the CW's The Flash. While Suicide Squad can play around with his backstory, perhaps the reason why he wouldn't show up is not wanting to have two beasts at the same time. However, he could make a good substitute or opponent for Killer Croc. Other than that, not much to say, half man, half shark. Number 11. Bronze Tiger. Bronze Tiger is a martial artist expert and one of the world's deadliest assassins. At a young age, he struggled with his violent nature and seeked to pacify his mind, which led him to many travels or adventures throughout the world. His main power is superhuman strength and agility, and the ability to transform into a humanoid tiger. The use that this character has been limited, and perhaps Suicide Squad could be his big debut. One of the most recent uses he's received was on the CW's Arrow, which we found to be severely lacking, and in the event that Rick Flag were to temporarily leave the team, like he did in the comics, Bronze Tiger could more than take on that leadership role. Number 10. Count Vertigo. Count Vertigo's power is to apply the vertigo effect to his enemies, essentially throwing them off balance and making them collapse towards the floor, as well as mind-inducing effects, such as causing fear and rage. His power is simple in nature and not extremely overpowered, making him a good candidate for Suicide Squad. Regardless of the iteration they choose to implement, unlike the other characters, they wouldn't have to humanize him. He's played the role of anti-hero, mentally ill, and borderline suicidal, a character that not only struggles with his existence, but is his own enemy. Number 9. Black Manta. A diver and a treasure hunter, Black Manta is known as Aquaman's biggest rival, and his abilities are based around hand-to-hand combat and weaponry. Given his past with Aquaman and the fact that the Aquaman standalone film premieres in 2018 before the Suicide Squad sequel, it is possible we could see him going up against Aquaman to later spin off and join the squad. Number 8. Vixen. Vixen is a very popular character due to her appearing in TV shows like Arrow and getting her own animated series in CW Seed. So to no one's surprise, she's a very possible candidate to join the DC Cinematic Universe. Her powers are granted by a Tantu totem that gives her access to the powers of the animal kingdom. While not a villain, she does struggle in controlling her animalistic powers, which led her to asking Amanda Waller to recruit her in the meantime. This also makes her a good candidate for Birds of Prey. Number 7. Killer Frost. Don't let Killer Frost's name confuse you. While technically not made out of ice, her body does create ice-like cells, giving her the appearance of ice, meaning heat and fire will not melt her. In the modern iteration, she even seeks out heat sources to feed off of. But then again, this could change with a movie adaptation. Killer Frost could make a good substitute to replace either Harley Quinn or El Diablo if it's decided for them not to return for the sequel. She's an incredibly smart scientist as well as an effective killer, which would warrant her presence in the squad. Number 6. Parasite. Parasite is an interesting character all on himself. Historically, he's made many appearances in Suicide Squad throughout his comic book history, and various iterations of the character have been presented. His powers, as with any parasite, is to steal the life force or energy of living beings, potentially killing them. He's had encounters with Superman, which led him to gain Superman-like powers temporarily, meaning Suicide Squad can be the perfect team to take him down due to the fact that not everyone has superpowers for him to feed off of, and that they're disposable. Either he's the enemy to take down, or Amanda Waller might want to recruit him and keep him as a trump card for when Superman-like threats appear. What makes him rank higher on this list is that he's had connections to Darkseid and Justice League, which at the very least makes us think he's being considered for inclusion into the DC Extended Universe. Number 5. Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is a classic, well-known and liked due to her involvement in the Batman franchise. Typically a botanist, through one means or another, she gains the powers of plants and toxins. Due to her cult classic status and her repetitive ties with Harley Quinn, being at times both her best friend and even love interest, it would be a bit surprising to see her excluded from the upcoming DC films, such as Birds of Prey and/or the Suicide Squad sequel. While she didn't even make a cameo appearance, we wouldn't discount the idea of seeing her in the near future. Number 4. Black Adam. Black Adam is a potential character for the sequel due to him being the main antagonist in the upcoming film Shazam, set to premiere in April 2019. The part will be played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which, given his acting style, would make him the perfect fit for the movie. Not to mention, Black Adam's addition could be our first sneak peek into the world of magic and gods in the DC Extended Universe. While it's a bit unlikely to see him show up as a member, if the Suicide Squad sequel ends up happening before 2019, at the very least, his character could be introduced to be expanded later on in Shazam. Number 3. Deathstroke. Of the remaining 3, Deathstroke is perhaps the fan favorite. He's a grade A badass, master tactician, and the world's deadliest assassin, known not only for his efficiency, but for his brutality. Not to mention he's proficient with all range of weapons and explosives. For those of you unfamiliar with Deathstroke, he's like a fusion of Captain America and Deathshot, just not as accurate when it comes to marksmanship. Perhaps the most threatening aspect of Deathstroke is that his expertise and loyalty lie with the highest bidder and will sell you out without blinking. The only thing holding back Deathstroke from being number 1 on our list is that he's too similar to Deathshot. Even their costumes have similarities, and let's be honest here, they're not getting rid of Will Smith. All of this making it somewhat unlikely, but not impossible. Number 2. Reverse Flash. The current iteration of the Reverse Flash is not the same that you're used to. His powers are dependent on how much Speed Force energy he has. With the Flash standalone film coming out first in 2018, it's possible to have the Reverse Flash featured as one of the villains and handed over to Amanda Waller at the end. Given he's taking on the role of both villain and hero, and his limited powers, it would be interesting to see how this Reverse Flash is portrayed. Number 1. Oracle / Batgirl. Oracle is retired Batgirl Barbara Gordon in the aftermath of the Joker shooting her and leaving her paralyzed from the waist down. With her drive to still fight crime, she resorts to becoming a hacker and information broker, being an essential asset to Batman and occasionally assisting Amanda Waller. We know that Oracle is possible due to the fact that in Batman vs Superman's timeline, the Joker killed Robin. So what's not to say the Joker didn't get to Batgirl as well? Another possibility is for Barbara Gordon to show up as Batgirl in Birds of Prey. Whatever the case, we'd be greatly disappointed if we didn't get a cameo of either identity in the upcoming DC films. And that's our top 15. If we missed your top pick for Suicide Squad 2, add them to the comment section below. If you're interested in more videos like this, leave any suggestions of a topic you'd like to see next.